We are joined now by Kean head coach Charlie Janex, as well as senior Tommy Rosario and Bill Fisher.
Coach, how do you prepare a team to face them after the fact? You know, as the match gets going, what do you tell your guys to? You see it on film, but then it must be something different when you see it in person.
Yeah, I mean it's not always easy to replicate somebody that's as good as Springfield. I mean you can only do so much in the gym when you're trying to simulate things, and then we get into a match like that where we haven't played a team of their caliber this year, and frankly it just came down to us, you know, not ever quitting, trying to stay within the moment, play each point one by one, hope for the best. You know, clearly things didn't work out the way we wanted, but I'm pretty proud of our guys. I think, you know, they didn't quit and they kept fighting until the end, so that's something I'm pretty darn proud of.
Yeah, Tommy, they hit the ball incredibly. I mean, have you ever seen anything like that? How do you try to contain that if you were to face them again tomorrow? How would you do that?
Yeah, through my 4 years, we played a couple teams like that every year, and it's usually at the end. But as a team to contain it, all we could do is penetrate as much as we can on the block and just lead them right to our liberos. And this ceiling was pretty low, so obviously we're at a disadvantage when it came to cushioning balls. But to prepare teams like that, you just got to try to get low on defense and be ready for anything.
Coach, what does a team need to have to challenge them?
It comes down. It's serving and passing. I mean that's volleyball. I mean I think we know that. We knew that coming in. We knew we were going to have to serve and pass well to at least have a chance. Sure, we had a lot of film on them, and we scouted them, and we knew what they were going to do. I think from a game plan standpoint, I don't think we were surprised with anything they did. It came down to execution, and frankly, the bottom line is I think you saw on the court today that they were just a better team than us.
Bill, I had a question for you. You guys had some pretty good swings, I thought, and they seemed to dig everything out. Does that frustrate you at all as the game, as the match goes on?
I'm not typically one to get hot-headed. I just like to have chemistry with my players. So when I found it was a good swing, I would do it, and they played stellar defense. I'll give it to them. But, the ones they did dig, I knew it was because I didn't connect with my setter in the best way, so I kept my head high. I'm not that type of player. As long as we give the best effort, I'm always ready for the next one. Nothing like that.
Does that frustrate a team, though, when you guys get the swing you want and they repeatedly take the ball?
Yeah.
I would say so.
I would say that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we even during the match, Billy out. I told him it's clear they've scouted us. They know how we swing. They're all over us. We got to make some adjustments. But I credit them. Credit Charlie Sullivan. I mean, I say it all the time. Arguably the best coach in the country, no doubt about it. And he was ready for us, and his guys were prepared and brought it.
Coach, what do you take? I mean, you still have 30 win season, 31 in fact. Young team. What kind of positives do you take from this?
So I mean, that's exactly what I said. Tommy's sitting here is the only senior in our gym, no juniors. So we've talked about it a million times. We were young. We knew coming in. I mean, it wasn't a secret. We knew we were going to be young. We knew there was going to be a process that had to take place this year. And frankly, this was really kind of the foundation for the new regime of Kean volleyball. These guys are so young, and they're all going to be back in the gym next year. Plus the guys we have coming in, which we're pretty excited about. So it was more about just laying the foundation, keeping our heads high. I told them downstairs, exactly what you said. We did win 30-plus matches this year, and I think that's something to be very proud of. We got back here with a team that's extremely inexperienced, and I think a lot of people thought that wasn't going to happen this year. So back to the drawing board, back in the weight room on Monday, if the guys are willing to go, and we'll see what happens.
And Tommy, a follow-up, congratulations. I mean, senior, finishing your career. I mean, what are your thoughts here?
It was obviously this year a new experience because the last 3 years, every time I turned around, I saw a bunch of veterans, upperclassmen, juniors, and seniors. And this year, during tough times, when I turned around, I saw a bunch of new faces. And it took some time getting used to. I had to be a leader because what my friends could tell you, my teammates, I have a quiet demeanor, and I don't really speak out loud. I like to lead by example very much. But I knew what the season was about. I still felt like it was important to me. Even though it was quote-unquote rebuilding year, I still was going to try to go all the way just because I was the only senior. Doesn't mean I was going to stop.
You shrunk the deficit in each set. How were you able to do that?
I think it was just a matter of staying within ourselves and playing every point. Like I said, we had a game plan. I think we got a little bit away from it in the beginning stages of the match. Kind of got back to it as the match went on. We started executing a little bit better. I thought, we made some minor adjustments here and there as far as the way we were executing our offensive attack. I mean, we knew going in we had to side out against them. We weren't going to win if we didn't side out. We knew what they had on offense, and if we didn't battle back and get good first swings, it wasn't going to be there. So I think as the match went on, we made some minor adjustments from an offensive standpoint. Got a little bit lucky with some of their service errors, I think, throughout the match, and that helped for sure. But just staying within the moment and not quitting.
Bill, what lessons will you bring back next year? Today?
Oh my God, so many to choose from. I think some lessons for next year, it definitely would be to, I'm sorry, there's a lot going through my head right now. Definitely our biggest thing is to stay focused. In the first set, we got away from, typically one of our assets is passing very well, and it was hard to climb out of the hole we dug ourselves in the first set, we haven't faced many teams of this caliber, them serving very tough. That tends to frustrate our team more, I think, than the hitting errors that you brought up, or the hitting to the diggers that you brought up earlier. When we can't pass, everyone frustrated, you're not getting the sets that you want. So I think the biggest thing is focus, and he preaches that every single day, in the gym, out of the gym, whenever we're in contact. Focus and just stick to the fundamentals. We have to be consistent. We got struck with a couple injuries at the end, so it's like part of our foundation was not there. So it was hard to incorporate the new lessons with such little notice. Some guys that haven't been on the court as much. But I mean, I think a lot of the freshmen and us being inexperienced, the sophomores, we definitely know how to take it on next year. All of us go into the weight room, and we just gotta. The biggest lesson is to just never give up, keep playing with our heart, even when times seem tough, and it's just pray for focus, consistency, and just play like we know how. Got away from us a little bit, but if we can do that, I think we have a chance. We play them tomorrow, the next day, because we worry about what's on our side of the net. And when that gets away from us, that's when we tend to not be as successful.